Quantum Conversations, your portal to the inner realms. Access infinite possibilities, infinite mastery, and infinite love. Mind-expanding, heart-opening conversations with some of the greatest spiritual teachers, luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com, home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at AcousticHealth.com. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. And welcome to this special episode of Quantum Conversations as we explore the invisible realms of spirit and the great healing that comes from communication with the other side, with those loved ones who have crossed over. Oftentimes this can happen in our dream states and assist us, yet so much healing can be done when we work with clairvoyants and mediums who can bring forth the information. My guest today is here to assist all of us in our community on getting those messages from Spirit. We're going to hear how she works, but first we're going to hear how Patience Parker is a third-generation clairvoyant, and she communicates with the other side. Patience, welcome to Quantum Conversations. Hello.
Hello. Thank you.
Welcome, and we're so happy to introduce you to our community. This is something that you've done all of your life, and you've been born and raised in it, and yet here you are stepping out in a bigger way. But the work that you've done is profound. You work with a Metropolitan Police Department in solving crimes with this talent and skill that you have. And so now here you are stepping out, helping more people because you're finding that it's incredibly healing. So welcome and share with us this new twist for your stepping out.
Thank you. And I'm excited and very happy to be here. Yes, I grew up with a mother and a grandmother that were both very gifted in the way of the clairvoyant. They weren't focusing on the medium side. In fact, it was mainly on the clairvoyant side that my grandmother, she would see things for people through my whole growing up life. I thought everybody was like this. I have a sister in England who, if I lose something, here in the States, I will call her in England and she'll tell me exactly where it is and where I lost it. It'll either be under the refrigerator in my home or in the garage or somewhere like that. She can tune into anything that's lost.
Excellent.
So it's amazing. And she doesn't focus on it very much. She hasn't tried to adapt any of her skills. She's quite happy without bringing that in, because it does bring a lot of issues growing up, being aware of the abilities. People call them gifts, and in a lot of ways they are gifts. And everybody, I really believe that everybody has the ability with their higher self to bring that through and tap into some of the abilities. You know, they say women have a lot of intuition, and that really is the start of realizing that you can have these abilities. My mother used to decipher dreams. She always told me that a dream was a wish or a fear. And really, and it's also something that perhaps comes into your subconscious within the day. But I notice that when I read our families, they come to me always when they've had a dream. They want me to decipher it for them. And it always works out in that way, that it's a fear that they've had or a concern that they've had. So, you know, that's just a regular intuition that most of us have. My main aim is to help people who want to learn how to tap into their spiritual abilities, whether it's a medium or a clairvoyant, or dreams, or if they're looking at astral projection, which I've done a few times. I just want to show them how they're able to do that. That's why I don't really look on these as gifts. It's just like some people are specialists at languages and others at maths. And I just look upon this as an ability that I have. And with growing up with a mother and a grandmother, I was able to learn how to strengthen these. I went to school and I found out that nobody at school had ever thought about these things. And some people think it's kind of weird to have these abilities. But over the years, I've been able to develop stronger gifts in that way. The astral projection I've really wanted to learn a lot about and was able to train myself. When my father was suddenly dying in England and I was in New York and I couldn't get over to see him in time, I astral projected myself. I sat very deeply thinking about him. I went into a high vibration meditative state, and I felt I was sitting in his hospital room talking to him, and he passed in the night. And my mother called me the next morning to tell me, and she said, well, it's so weird because Daddy said you were here yesterday. And I said, oh, really? She said, yes, but Daddy said you'd had your hair cut. Well, I've always had long hair, but 2 days before I went to see, astrally projected to him, I had my hair cut, very, very short. And I described his hospital room to my mother, and it was exactly as I had stated. So it was a wonderful feeling for me to know that he knew I was there and that we had communicated. So it's something everybody can do, and this is the age on the spiritual side, I think, for people to be aware of that. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be able to have the ability to be able to help people. And that's my whole aim, is to be able to help people accentuate their gifts that they have, and they haven't woken them yet.
Yes. So it's so beautiful. I will chat with you about mastery empowerment courses that we hold here on this platform. That is something that people can learn. You can teach how to tap into those abilities, the astral projection. So we'll talk about that offline. That's wonderful. And in our episode today, I know we're going to have a guided visualization. That's another beautiful skill that you have. And maybe we've even got time for you to share a little bit about how we can tap into these abilities. Maybe we can pick one, whether it's astral travel, astral projection, because that's an amazing story that you had, and what validation for you to have from your sister. Doesn't that warm your heart?
Oh, yes, and believe me, I love validation. It's the most important thing to me. And on the medium side, the validation, the messages that I receive from past loved ones, for their loved ones here, sounds strange to me, but the validation, the understanding that they have, it just fills my heart with love and happiness to see those people here, even people that have lost their pets, and the strangest messages that come through with their pets. Recently, a person had lost his dog, had passed, and they were so heartbroken, the whole family. They asked me if I could bring the dog through. And I said, well, I'll have a go. Always ready to have a go.
Mm-hmm.
So what came through was, this was a very large dog they'd lost, and I didn't know anything about the dog at all. And the message that was coming through to me was that he wanted them to know that he had the little blanket. Well, it made no sense at all to me, but of course I passed that message on. He wants you to know that he's got the little blanket with him. And they just lit up, and I said, what is this about? And what happened was, when he was a puppy, of course he had a little blanket, but when he grew, they bought him a great big blanket to lay on his bed. And he didn't really like it too much, so he wanted them to know that he was with them still, and he had the little blanket with them. And also he had, another message from him was, he had this very unusual red toy, and it was really big, so I passed that on. And they had just bought him a bone recently. And sad thing was, they had another pet that they lost a month later, and I was like, goodness, what are you guys doing to your dogs? So of course it came through, this little dog came through, and her message was that she had the little girl's heart. She wanted to say, I've got your heart. Made no sense to me. But the little girl who loved the dog had given her, put around her neck, instead of a collar, she'd put a little necklace with a red heart on. I didn't know that. But those are the kind of things that, give me the validation and them the validation that it really is coming through from the other side. And there's so much love over there, and messages that animals or people just don't want you to think that you've lost the connectivity with them just because you can't see them. And often you'll feel them. And there's a lot of instances that come through. There's a lot of heartache from people on this side that maybe never got a chance to say they were sorry or they were there. All sorts of, I've got so many things that have happened that it's really amazing. And sometimes people come through that you don't expect to come through.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
Yes, it is wonderful. So we have a way that people can get readings with you, and we're going to talk about that later. But we're also going to open up our line today so that you can take caller questions. So if you're watching this program or looking at this program on YouTube, go into the chat line and grab the web call link or call in on the phone line. That will interface your voice with our beautiful guest, Patience. And we've already got some people in line right now. So Patience, you're going to share with all of us how we can each tap into what you're doing. But first, we're going to watch you in action. You have said that you would like for those who already have their hand raised on our phone line to think of their loved one, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because their loved ones are always around them, they're always wanting to contact them. If they think about them and think, whoever it is, say it's a father, hey, Dad, there's going to be an open door where the messages can come through. And that will alert the other side, that particular father or mother or whoever it is, loved one, that they have an opportunity to be able to come through. And they will come to me. I will either see or hear. Sometimes the message comes as something that's, maybe if somebody that was a sailor comes through, I might see a boat. It's various different ways they'll come through, but believe me, they come through very clearly. And if I am not quick to relay the message, they on the other side gets a little bit irritated with me and keeps bugging me. So I do my best. Once that door opens, it really, most of the time, it flows continually through, and other family members come through most of the time. So.
So while this is a mini session and a mini reading with each caller, you go deep with your clients in a session. Okay, well, here we go. Let's go to the wireless caller from Detroit, Michigan, area code or phone number ending in 8363. Hi, caller. What's your name?
My name is David.
Hi, David.
Hi,
Okay,
David.
so you've got patience. Here you go.
Hi, David. How can I help you today?
From the side, and they want me to do or encourage me to do here on this side.
Well, I don't want you to give me any information who has passed. I would like you to think about if it's a person or an animal. I would like you to think about that person. I'm getting a little bit coming through on the on a female coming through. I think it might be somebody that's related on. Just give me a minute here because sometimes it takes a little while. On your father's side, I think this is a female or connected to your father that's coming through. It's somebody that has some connection on your father's side. That's a female, and I'm really not feeling like it's a mother. I'm really beginning to feel like it's a grandmother that's like your father's mother, and she wants to say something about. I think there was a sister involved in that, but it's on your father's side, so it must be I think it must be an aunt that has passed, and. Are you getting some little white feathers that you're noticing lately?
Well,
look for them, but
yeah. I have a couple of down coats with holes in them, so I've been getting small feathers.
Sorry, I didn't hear you too clearly then.
Yes, I should go upstairs. I have a couple down coats that I sometimes I pulled out of storage because it's cold here in Michigan now, and I have been having feathers around the house. But yeah.
Okay. Well, have you been dreaming about this particular female recently? And this, I don't believe this is. I feel it's a connection on your father's side, so I don't feel like it's a female in a relationship with you. I feel more like it's somebody that you were close to. It might be his mother, but I don't know. I don't feel it's a grandmother as much as like an aunt that would be coming through. But the other things that are coming through is she has a child with her that had passed when he was a child, and that is more like yeah, I can feel the child. I would say that child was something like about 14 when he passed, and but these are all connected on your father's side. So wow. I don't know if that's ringing any bells to you right now.
Not sure. Can I ask you a question? Of my whole lineage on my mother's and my father's side, is there any curses or any type of things that need to be cleared or energetically so that my lineage can go forward without?
Well, that's a good question, and let me tell you how to fix that yourself. Every morning when I wake up, because I only want good spirits to come through with love and healing. So you might. Do you have a pen handy so you can write this down?
Yeah, but I'll tell you another thing. I've been told that I work with Holy Spirit and Archangel Azrael, and I've been around other people who have passed, and I've had like a dove land on my back, and I've felt other spirits, and it kind of scares you to tell the truth, because I don't want to.
It is scary. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
because
had people they say I don't want to be labeled crazy, but I feel spirit come in the back of my heart chakra, and when I call in the Holy Spirit, it comes straight in the back of my heart chakra, and it makes me cry because it's so intense.
Well,
very.
David, here's what you need to do, and this is going to help you, and it's going to give you strength and healing while you feel that these other entities and things are coming through. If you can say, and I say this every day and more than once, and here's what it is: I encircle myself with the white light of God's love and divine protection. Now, I also add to that, nothing negative or evil can penetrate this circle. And let me tell you, with handling the spirit world, I've lived in many old homes in England where people call them ghosts, but where there's a lot of spirits and entities that really hang around a lot. And I've done a couple of exorcisms on 2 houses that I've lived in here. One was 3 cowboys, entities. One of them was pretty evil and didn't want to leave, and it took a long time, but I managed to get him to go back over to the white light and back to peace and tranquility. So if you say that, I encircle myself with the white light of God's love and divine protection, that will put a pure healing aura around you, and nothing can penetrate that circle that's evil or negative. And that will help you. I know that will help you, because I feel that will help you. And this is probably why the spirits on the other side are wanting to come through, but it's a little bit of a fight for them, because you have a lot of other worries going on right now. So you need to clear your mind and try and focus to bring your higher self through there and purify that. And you will be able to.
Okay. I'm in a 12-step program of AA, and I deal with people who are not clear, who are full of coming off of drugs or are drinking or are sober and still crazy. And I'm wondering, like, when I hook up to their energy and I say the Lord's Prayer after the meeting, sometimes my energy is going to other people and affect them very positively in a very energetic way. This Holy Spirit energy doesn't scare me in such a way that I feel it's evil. It's just really intense. And
well, you're a healer because you're helping to heal people that have had trauma and probably brought some of those things through from a past life. Such as, say, somebody that's suicidal. They might have had that in a past life where they did commit suicide, and you have to fix that when you come back the next time. You have to resist that before you can go onto, a higher astral plane. We all have these things. So a lot of the drug users and, hey, we've all got our issues. So they have to heal themselves of that. So you are a healer in the way that you're helping these people. But it's exhausting. It's spiritually exhausting for you. And you do well not to open up to the negativity that you see on a day-to-day basis with that. Because that's a challenge for you.
My mantra is that I'm a pillar of light from Alcyone into the earth.
Yes, you're a light worker. And, you chose that path before you came here. So it's wonderful that you're staying on that path because, we always get hit with free will when we come into our new life experiences. And it's easy to go on a different path. And I do a lot of palmistry as well because, if you're a right-handed person, that is what you make of your life. But your left hand is what you already planned before you came here. I'm a lefty, so it's the other way around for me. But you are going to have challenges, of course. But staying strong as you are doing is really amazing and wonderful. And if you just feel that you bring that white energy healing light around you and encircle yourself with God's love and divine protection, it's just going to help you strengthen and, of course, help others as you're doing that because, we're all here. We are all here to give love to the planet and everything on the planet. And, love, it costs nothing. And yet it's so hard a lot of the time for people to give that healing love out there. But you're doing that. So it's great to chat with you and talk to somebody that's a healer out there.
Mm-hmm.
She should probably talk to another one. You're very gifted, and I appreciate your time and energy. Thank you.
Well, I want to tell you, David, before you go, watch out, because on your father's side, there is a 14-year-old that passed. And once you clear these energies a little bit, those will be able to come through. So when I have another show, come on, and I'd love to chat with you some more.
14-year-old. Interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm sure if your father's still around and he had a sister and a 14-year-old passed, because that 14-year-old is around there. So, love
from a
and
couple
blessings.
generations earlier, because it might be from a couple generations earlier. Very interesting. I wonder. Okay.
Really cool.
There's a D in that name too, so it might have been a Donald or a Don, or it could have been a David. So check into that and let us know.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Well,
David.
thank you.
Wow, David, you bring up your situation, your awareness of the spirit realm around you and them communicating with you resonates with me, because in our group, in our New Earth community, we've heard some who have spirits hanging around them. So patience, the question would be, those people who are sensitive to beings and seeing spirits, does that indicate a larger role in that individual's purpose and mission in life to be of assistance?
Yes, well, David's already doing a lot of healing with the people that he's helping. And there are messages from the other side for him geared towards that. And, he's in the area of people that he's helping. It's a very stressful, negative world. Mm-hmm. And to help anybody with the addictions such as that, they already need a lot of help. I have one of my clients is a doctor, and she helps a lot of people in this kind of world. And she's a wonderful, strong spirit. She's been here many lifetimes, and her mission is that. But she gets so much negativity, and it's hardly rewarding in the way that it is. But she's so strong, and if she can just help one person in 10 or 20 or 30, it's successful. So, there's a lot of people, souls that are here that have had some past life experiences, a lot of karmic reactions, and, we bring it all over. That's why a lot of children, up until the age usually of 7 or 8, remember their past lives. Sometimes, you'll see a genius 5-year-old playing the piano, or a 7-year-old opera singer, and that's come through a past life. So, it's wonderful to be able to look at those things. And this is the age of spirituality. This is a time when energy healing through the visualization and meditation, the hospitals all over the world now are looking at alternative healing with these methods.
I love it. Yes, I know. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it wonderful? We're seeing it happen. Yes, and then this gift here is amazingly healing. So let's have some more healing with our community. I'm going to open up the phone line to we're going to go to Suzanne. Suzanne, hello. Okay, we'll come back to Suzanne. Okay. She might be taking care of something. Think of the person that you love, and you can see if there's a message. Maria, hello. You are unmuted.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Maria.
Hello, Maria.
Hello.
Hello.
This is beautiful. My question is I want to name my dad and my great-grandmother. If they're any messages to me.
Okay. Your great-grandmother was very spiritual.
Yes, very.
She was. Your father maybe not so at first, but he couldn't deny her.
Yeah, I know. His beautiful heart.
Yes, your great-grandmother's very much wants to come through and chat. She was very, very talkative.
Is this on my mother's side or my father's side? Because they're both beautiful.
I would say this is on, let me just find out from her. Because I feel, I feel through the clairvoyant side, but I want to see through the medium side. Maria, she's telling me that this is on your mother's side. And she's very talkative once she starts. Did you lose her when you were young?
Yes.
Yes, because she's talking about a baby. She's talking about, what's coming through is, in fact, she won't stop talking about this baby. She has the baby with her. And but the baby, I don't think was a little baby. I think the baby was, 3 or 4. I guess it's still a baby. My son's 21 and he's my baby, so. And that's what she wants to say. She wants you to keep on the path that you're on. You must have a pretty good plan of happiness where you are, because she's very happy for you. And there's some piece of jewelry that you have of hers that you treasure. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what it is. She's hiding it. But she's saying you've got the jewelry, and she's happy that you've got that. I don't know. Did you get some jewelry from her, or did somebody just pass something down to you that was hers?
No, I don't have her jewelry.
Well, something like jewelry that she said you have. Was it a brooch, maybe something like that?
Maybe my mother. My aunt. I don't have any of their jewelry.
Oh, maybe your mother's got it. She's got to pass it to you, because this is quite strong that's coming through about that jewelry. Maybe you were supposed to get it and your mother hasn't passed it on yet, because she's talking about the jewelry. And she's talking about this baby. Was there a baby that somebody lost in your family that passed over that she wants you to know?
Oh, my gosh. Rosanna, my cousin, the little girl that passed when she was about 9.
Oh, that's
my
about
best friend.
She's got that baby. She's got the baby.
God.
This grandmother was a hugger. She liked to hug.
Yes.
And she's got hold of that baby, and she's hugging that baby, not letting go.
Yes, tell her I love them both.
Yeah, she knows. You tell her. She's around you.
Okay.
She knows.
Rosa, both. I love you. I miss
love
you
and blessings to you.
so much.
And dream about her, because she'll come through your dreams. And she'll come back online another time, and we'll go into it more in depth.
Okay, after, if there's anything I need to know for sure, because I wanna assist the ancestors. That's my goal.
Well, you know what? She's worried about your mother. Has your mother got some health issues?
Is my mother what?
Has she got some health issues, your mother?
My mother's getting age. Yeah, she's
She's worried about her. You don't see her enough.
No, I don't. I
know.
Go back. I don't.
That's what
I would love to.
She wants you to look after your mother. And your mother's got some piece of jewelry that you need to get, because Grandma wants you to have it.
Tell her I'm trying, but they're making it very difficult. She'll understand. Very, very difficult to me. So I choose to be at peace. So I'm here at peace.
Here's what I'm doing. I'm going to send you some healing. You should be able to feel Grandma's wrapping her arms around you right now.
Okay.
She's giving you some strength and some healing. And it costs nothing to love. So, just open up some doorway so that you can recommunicate with your mum, and you'll feel better for it. I see that happening for you.
Yeah, tell her we recently talked. I feel much better.
Well, love and blessings to you. And And don't forget, to see your mum and to have that love and healing. Because your mum's got some health issues. Okay?
I tell her thank you, and I love them both, and thank you so, so much. You just alleviate so much
thank you.
wondering.
And love and blessings.
Thank you so much.
Stay on so you can go through the healing later, and I'll show you how you can send that healing to somebody else.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good, Maria. Oh my gosh, that was amazing.
Truly, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I'm crying right there with you, sister. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
You should feel happy.
Yes, feel happy because, oh my gosh, your grandma's right there.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I had a great healing when my parents left, and you mentioned dreams, and that's a whole course in itself, and I know a whole other conversation about when we see the dreams. These are visitations. They're not just dreams.
Oh, absolutely. And we have to, it's a little meditative process. A lot of people think meditation is hard, but really, to tell you the truth, I can meditate when I'm driving my car because it's just a mindset, really, and it brings your it brings you to a better level, really. It brings your vibrations to a better level, and it opens some doorways up for you. And if you bring the thought that you want them to come into your dreams or your guides, because a lot of people, want to find out about their guides, and it really helps to bring them through in their dreams. And then remember your dreams. The most important thing about bringing in your intuition and your gifts is every morning when you wake up, remember those dreams. It's an exercise, and it strengthens your psyche, and it helps you.
Yes. And we've gone deep into this in Mastery Empowerment courses, and it really is this continuity of consciousness that really does assist us in so many ways when we can look back and start to see some abilities and also the healings that go on. All right, that's a whole other conversation. We're going to go back to more help with patience. She is helping you when you hold someone in your thoughts. So now let's go to Colorado Springs. Phone number ending in 6982. Hello, you're unmuted. What's your name, please?
My name is Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Hi, Valerie.
Can you hear me all right? Thank you so much for taking my call. Gosh, this is just beautiful. And I guess my question really, because I've been going through letters, and, I do a lot of healing work, and I work with elderly people, and I've done hospice work, and I really sometimes wonder, patients, why I can't get a little clearer information on things. I'm an empath. I feel things. I sense things. But I sometimes wonder if I'm blocking myself. Maybe a lot of us feel this way, like, why can't we get a little clearer messages? Because I feel them, but I can't quite. And maybe I'm blocked in a certain way because I'm afraid. I'm not really sure.
Well, I understand that, and it can be the unknown is frightening. So you might be blocking that. But here's what I think. I think you have so much. You have a very busy mind. You are, you always have something to think about. I'm not saying that you're a warrior, but you always have something. You don't have a rest time when you can, I used to say to my mum, what are you thinking, Mum? She'd ask me, and I'd say nothing. And she said, you can't think of nothing. And I'm like, yeah, Mum, my mind is blank. It's nothing. No, you're thinking that your mind is blank. So we always have a very active mind. But what's coming through to me is you actually don't have the confidence that on the intuition side. You don't want to feel like, you want to do it, but you're not sure if you can do it. And it's a bit frightening, but let me tell you, you are helping people. You're giving love out, and that's the most important thing. And it's wonderful working with seniors because a lot of people ignore seniors and think they don't know anything. And, they know so much. And
they're beautiful. You know, they're just beautiful. And sometimes I don't understand why other people can't, you know, read the energy or understand.
Well, because they don't have the time. People on this planet don't have time. There's always something they want to rush and do, or they don't want to miss this or miss that. And so they don't have a still, quiet mind. And that's sad, because what I think you should make time for is for yourself. And that's what's happening. You're not giving yourself the time to meditate, heal, visualize. You know, I spoke with David earlier about my little mantra that I always say continually, which protects me. And what you need is to be able to take some more time for yourself, because you are a very busy person, and you are such a healer and a helper that there's always somebody that needs you. But you need yourself.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I do. Well, that's true. For so many caregivers, we're taking care of everybody else. And, you know, I was very blessed to have two grandmothers. I was very, very close to both of them. So when I'm hearing you talk about this, it's still with us. They're still with us. And it would be helpful to just be able to kind of tune into those messages and go, I mean, I do in a way, but there's just limitations still around that.
Well, you doubt it, you see. And don't doubt it, because remember your dreams. That's the first exercise, if you've got time. Remember your dreams, and it will come through to you, because I know that you are an old soul, and that you have those abilities, and you had them in a past life. And so just to open up to them now is you have to take that time. And you have to ask your guides to help you with that. Because there's so much out there for you still to do. And your grandmother's through, and they're there to help you. They're like little warriors. They're like little Amazons.
Yes,
actually.
They are.
I'm feeling, you know. And
yes, they are.
And they're
they
patient with you, actually.
They're a little bit wet.
Just open up to that, and love and blessings to the wonderful work that you're doing to helping seniors.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Loren, for your wonderful program. It's been just fabulous always. So love and blessings.
Thank you, Bree.
Thank you.
Thank you for the work that you do. Yes, awesome. Okay. So do you say that the dream space, remembering the dreams, opens these abilities?
It does. It's
amazing.
One of those spiritual exercises.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. I love it. Okay, let's continue on here. Suzanne, you are unmuted.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Loren and Patience. This has been a beautiful show. I'm already receiving messages from every caller, and every message you bring through has had meaning for me.
Wonderful.
In my particular situation. I was hoping we might be able to connect to my mother, who crossed over a few months ago on August 9th, very suddenly, although she had been ill.
Was it something to do with her lungs and her heart?
Well, we don't actually know at the time. We don't know exactly what happened at the moment that she passed. She was having other health issues than what you mentioned. So it was a really surprise to us that she passed. She had just called me that morning, and she was having, without going into detail, some other minor physical things happening, but nothing that would be life-threatening. And she transitioned, making dinner, actually, and had called me that morning, and I was calling her back when the police came to my door to let me know she had died in her home. So it was very traumatic for me for many reasons.
Of course.
And I didn't even get to have time with her or say goodbye. And I was actually not well in the weeks leading up to this. When she was becoming ill, I couldn't be there, at her home. I lived 20 minutes away because of all the caretaking at my own home already.
Okay, so I don't know if we need too much story, though, right?
Yeah. So we'll just skip that part. But just basically, if we can connect to her, I'm just curious if she has a message.
Well, it's very soon that she passed. A lot of times, I've had this with a couple of my clients, when they pass within a month or two, it takes them sometimes 3 or 4 months. One of my clients, her father, actually, I was talking to her on the phone. I see her monthly, with just some clairvoyant guidance and spiritual guidance. And I said, there's a mail coming through. Did you just lose a father or a grandfather? And her father had just passed the week before, and he had come through. But he had a lot of things he wanted to tell her, but because he was going through, the Akashic records and what he had been doing in his life and all the forgiveness he needed to ask, he came through briefly to say, I need to ask your forgiveness, but I can't face it yet. I can't face sitting and going through it all, and I have to bring your mother in and ask her forgiveness. So he wanted to come back in 3 months' time. And I said, don't know why your father needs to ask forgiveness. And she said a little bit like, oh yeah, he does. And so he came through, and that was really quick for him to come through that fast, because there's a lot. Once you pass, you review your life and your choices, and you have to go back through the Akashic records and learn a lot. So it's very soon that she passed, but I feel like, and let me tell you, when I pass, I'd like to go quick. It's so sad for the people that are left behind, terribly. But the people that pass, they're going on to the wonders that they don't see here. The love and the peace and the tranquility. So it's a wonderful place to go. And they have to learn all that. There's a lot of things that they have to go through. So it's very soon for her, but I do feel a lot about her heart and her chest. Maybe they put an oxygen mask on her when they found her. But if you can be in touch with me in about 2 months, then I know that we'll be able to bring her through. But right now, there's a lot of learning she's going through. Now.
Well, she actually, from the beginning, I received a lot of afterlife signs from her, and I knew what they meant. And I also knew she was needing a lot of time to do some healing and work on the other side. So I knew you may not be able to bring anything through right now, but I just thought it would be.
There's something about birds, though. There was something about, I don't know whether you have some hummingbirds, or there's some birds, but I feel there's some birds around. I know she's bringing you feathers, and I know there's other things. I know you're very tuned in and spiritual, so I know you know the signs. And
she immediately, you're right on. Immediately, she sent me a hummingbird to the front door.
Yeah,
and I might have mentioned to the end. Yeah, it was maybe not immediate. There were some other animal signs, because she knows I'm very into everything, signs and, mediumship and so on. But she, within a short period of time, she sent me in an area where I would never really get a hummingbird, near the front door.
That's what they do. That's uncanny, but that's what they do.
Yep. And some other things that were for sure showing me that parts of me were returning to me, that she was, integrating into me, and she was with me. So I did get so thank you for, you just let me know that the birds, and I get them. Yeah, the birds are big on the, signs. So
that's wonderful. So let's get in touch in a couple of months and, bring her through.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. I'd love to do that. I guess maybe we'll be having you back, and that would be wonderful.
That would be great.
I would love that. And, you take care of yourself, and happy, Thanksgiving and holidays.
Oh, thank you. And love and blessings to you. And I'm so glad that you're so tuned in, because I want everybody to be like that.
Yeah. And in fact, it sounds like many of the other callers already also are very, they're very tuned in as well. And it's just wonderful to have someone else also, connect and either affirm or just go a little deeper and get signs that we would miss. Like if we're in grief, and it's hard for us to as much as I am in grief, but I also work with my dreams, want to connect with her through dream work, and I'm open to any message from her. And I love that everyone on the call is also very open to.
And you're very aware of your guides, aren't you? There's one guide in particular that you work with now that you acknowledge.
I wish I was more connected to knowing exactly which guide you're speaking of.
Well,
I know
there's a male figure, a guide. I think he might have been a great uncle, actually. I think he's related. My mother's my main guide. She's amazing, actually.
Really?
She does butt in times.
Wow. Well, hopefully I'll look forward to maybe my own mother, becoming a really good guide for me. And I'll tune into who this might be that you're speaking of. Okay, I'll work on that, and as well as other things. But thank you so much. You've done a beautiful call so far, and I look forward to hearing, more as other people call in.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Loren. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Suzanne. Blessings. Yes, it's beautiful. It's interesting that we did have someone else on our chat say that someone passed recently and can we connect with them? And isn't it interesting that as souls, they have to go through their own unlayering, their own journey in that state, and before they can communicate. And when we look at people who have begun later to channel messages from their loved ones or to communicate, it doesn't happen so quickly. So it's very interesting. But what I do, again, we're coming back to the dreams. Isn't it interesting that the dream state allows for that connection, right? I mean, it's not available for perhaps a medium so soon, but the dream state, this goes back to what you said, that we can all do this.
Oh, yes.
There's many people who get their healing dreams after someone dies or passes.
It's so much easier in the dream state because our subconscious is knocked out and we're not aware of our surroundings, so we're more meditated and relaxed. And, a lot of people do a lot of the astral projection in their dream state. I don't know if anybody that's listening has woken up suddenly feeling they're falling.
Yes.
Because when they're coming back into their earth body and they're coming back too fast, so they'll feel like they're falling. And it's just their soul coming back into their earth body.
Okay. And what about like this, what do you call that, sleepy eyes or the sand in the eyes? Is that with the soul leaving through the eyes as well?
Well, there's a lot of things that I feel that I know that I haven't learned, but I feel that my spirit and my soul feels. For many years now, I have tried to bring my higher self through into my conscious self. It's an exercise that I try very hard to do because I believe that then I will be complete. I have this thing about being complete, like a circle. Like when my husband and I go out, I look at him and I'm saying, "Oh, you're not complete. You've forgotten something," and he's often forgotten his key or something that usually takes with him. So I have this thing about being complete. Things have to be complete for me in a circle, and so I try to bring my higher self through into my subconscious, because then I feel that I will be complete, and my guides are with me. So it's just an exercise that I try very hard to do. When I was diagnosed with cancer 6 years ago, I tried to heal myself. Of course, I had surgery. I had the Da Vinci robot, which is amazing. But the cancer that I had, I visualized through my healing that I was zapping it, that I was visualizing the white energy from God going into my cancer cells and zapping them just like, you would zap something. And when I had my diagnosis after my cancer surgery, it was a 1A. It was the mildest form of cancer that you could get. And I really believe that with the faith and the feelings that I had, I was able to do that. And my mother actually, I learnt that from my mother. She had done that herself. So
isn't that beautiful?
That we feel those energies within ourselves, because we are just energy. It's just amazing the things that we are learning now about ourselves.
Yes. Yes. And I just want to say that you're going to close our session today with a guided meditation for healing. And that's very special. And yes, we will absolutely have you back, because this is amazing. And you want to teach people how to do this themselves.
I do. So, that's what I'm here for this time around on this planet. Yeah. I'm here to guide and help everybody to bring in their intuitive healing selves so they can communicate with past loved ones. They can heal themselves and heal others around them, their loved ones.
Yes.
And I can answer the questions on what they think they're planning for. What was their mission this time on this planet?
Yes, that's actually one of the number one questions of light workers and star seeds. What's the mission? And when we tap into our higher self, which is what you're all about, we get that answer. And this is really how the new earth that we are living on is operating. And when we operate with that system, everything flows. So our higher self is a must. The connection with our higher self is a must. And there's so many tools to tap people into that. All right, let's go to another caller. I would love to speak to, it looks like Wisconsin. It looks like Bonnie, but it could be another name. Phone number ending in 9306. Hi, caller. You're unmuted. What's your name?
All right. This is Linda.
Hi,
Thank
Linda.
you so much, Lauren. I love your programs. I listen almost every night. And I thank you for bringing out such wonderful speakers. I was wondering if you could communicate with my father. He died really unexpectedly many years ago. If he has any message for me, I'd love to hear it.
Linda, there's something about a smoker. I don't know whether he was a big smoker. Was he?
No, he was, and then he quit. But he quit he didn't smoke very long. Yes.
Yeah, he must have been enjoy smoking at before we quit, because there's a lot of smoke. I see a smoker there. And he passed quite a few years ago. Was he, what I'm getting now is somebody that's a little bit grumpy sometimes. I don't know whether, maybe when he gave up smoking, because I know my mother gave up smoking. She smoked 40 a day and then she cut it out completely. So she wasn't the easiest person to live with for a couple of months, but it did prolong her life quite a while. So what's coming through is that it's grumpy, I'm British, so we have different meanings for different things. So excuse me in that way, but a little bit of an irritability, a wonderful, loving person that didn't want to really, this might be a grandfather, didn't want to show a lot of love, wasn't a big hugger maybe, and there's a little bit of sarcasm coming through. So I'm not sure if this is a father or a grandfather, because it might be a grandfather.
I only had two grandfathers that I remember. One was a painter, and the other one worked with young children. And the one that worked with the young children was just a wonderful guy. I just adored him.
This is how I said before. It's not always the person we want to bring through that comes through. Sometimes, I had a lady a couple of weeks ago that wanted to bring her sister through, and her grandmother came through, and her sister did come through. She actually pushed the sister out of the way so that the grandmother could talk. And it was really crazy, but that's grandma, that's how grandma was. So what's coming through, and it's coming through very strong, that there's a smoker, and it's a male, and he was grumpy. He actually had, let's see, I think he lost his wife early, and he never married again. I don't know if you can identify with this person, but
no, I don't.
he is related on your father's side. So that's coming through. I'm just going to try and see if I can bring your father through. But your father, I really think that this was.
Do they show any messages about me being the healer that I am? I work with energy.
The energy that's coming through is, there is some from your father, but your father, this person that's coming through is so strong, and actually didn't believe in any of this. So let me see if I can bypass this person. Sometimes it's difficult, and see if I can bring your father through. Do you work with children a lot?
No, not particularly, but I have 14 grandchildren around me most of the time.
Oh, how wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, you work with children. Children are a blessing. Your father isn't coming through. This other male, and I would like you to find out who this male is. It's very clear. He was a smoker. His wife died early, and he is related to you. So I'm just thinking it's probably your grandfather. And what's happening is he's related to your father because he's like blocking your father. Your father was a sweetheart, but this strong person is blocking the things that he was going to come through and say. And that happens sometime, unfortunately. Sometimes there's rather outspoken people over there that have a lot to say, and they're not really the people you necessarily wanted to talk to. But is one of your grandchildren, I'm not saying handicapped, but maybe has some health issues from birth? Because I think
I've had several of them I have one who is really quite gluten intolerant, and she is amazing, and she's very gifted with the animals. She's
this
an animal.
One's a boy. This one's a boy.
A boy. Let me see.
Do you have a boy that maybe, or maybe is very quiet and doesn't talk a lot? Actually, he's a little bit like your father when he was growing up. This is a boy that isn't going to get into his own until he's probably in his early 20s, because he's a little bit held back, he's a little bit quiet, and he gets a little bit ignored sometimes. But he really needs to be healed a little bit and helped, because I think he might be getting bullied at school or something like that. He's got some issues there that are upsetting to him. And I think he's got a fairly short name. There's probably only 4 or 5 letters in his name. Just look into it, see if there's a boy that's getting bullied a little bit and is maybe a little bit quiet. Because that's coming through.
Most of my grandchildren are homeschooled.
Oh, are they? Well, that's nice.
Yes.
This one holds back though. This is a boy that's holding back, and maybe, I don't know, he's quiet, and he's got some little health issues there that might need to be looked into a little bit. So you're a healer, so you are doing some wonderful work helping and healing with all those grandkids. It's wonderful that, obviously you can help there with healing them.
I am trying.
It's a challenge with children these days, We have them all our lives.
Yeah.
I said earlier, my son's 21. He's in the army right now. He's in South Korea, and he's learned a lot about life over there.
I use the oils, and I use the 0-point energy wands, and I use energy healing and matrix, and I use kind of a whole bunch of combination of things.
Wonderful. So you're very spiritual. You should be able to tap into your father, yourself, and bring him through. Do you dream about him sometimes? Do you have him in your dreams?
No, he passed so suddenly, and I think I feel him more than I see. I feel a lot of things. I'm very sensitive that way.
Yes, yes, I'm sure you do. You should maybe open up a little bit more to believing that he is coming through. But, you know, I don't feel there's any messages that he is very content and settled and kind of like to let you do your own thing. I think he's always been like that.
Yes.
Had confidence got a lot of confidence that you know the right thing to do. And though you've had some challenges, you've always been able to come out top because you're very logical and you're able to bring yourself out of yourself to look at what you're doing. And that takes a lot of doing because a lot of times, you know, I always say, you know, we should look in the mirror more and see if we like that person we're looking at or if that person's doing the right thing. But you have an innate knack to be able to, the intuition, which I was talking about earlier, you're able to tap into that and know really you come out top. Even though you've had a lot of, I never say we have problems, I always call them challenges. So even though you've had some challenges, you have a very level head and have been there many lifetimes, and you've done this before. You've healed many lifetimes. You've been well known to do that.
Thank you so much. That was really nice that you said that.
Well, I see that around you. You've done that. That's been your job for many lifetimes in different areas and different ways. And you've been in the medical field at one point in time too, as the healer. But now you're tapping into the spiritual side, which is wonderful because it's all-encompass healing. It overrides any of the negativity or any of the issues that could come back on us because you float over that so well. Have you tried astral projection?
Yeah, a little bit. I've only been able to do it once or twice. But I am starting to, I think I've had a couple lucid dreams lately. Okay. And they were kind of scary because of what happened in them. And so it kind of scared me because I could see it being prophetic and I didn't like it.
Well, you know, all the lifetimes that we've had, they've not all been the most wonderful. But, you know, as I understand it, and I was regressed by Dr. Brian Weiss 30 years ago. And he put me through a lot of tests to see about my spirit because he was writing his first book at that time. And so he didn't charge me because I was in his book. But
wow.
Yes,
That's interesting.
It was really wonderful.
Were you in many lives and many masters?
Not by name, but he was writing his first book, and he tested me for my spirituality and the age of my soul. And part of the test was identifying colors as emotions. And so it was a long test. And let me tell you, the first time that he regressed me, I was sitting in one of those nice, comfortable, relaxing leather chairs. And when I came round, of course, you're aware of everything. But when I was coming out of that conscious level, I felt that I was blended and part of that chair. The relaxation was so deep into my past lives that my cells felt intertwined with the cells of the chair. And they were heavy. When I tried to lift my arms up, I felt like my cells had blended into the arms of the chair. And they were so heavy. And it took me a while to get back to this level of consciousness. So
I had an interesting experience, though, just this last Saturday. Somebody was playing the crystal bowls, and she did just a phenomenal job. And all of a sudden, I did not feel like I had a form anymore.
Right.
I felt like I actually dissolved into like atoms or something and was sparkling light. It was kind of like the most amazing thing in my whole life.
It's a wonderful experience. It really is.
Yeah.
And I hope to help a lot of people have that experience because we are just energy. You know, we take on this human form, but our spirituality is energy. And I have a lot of energy within me. We have instances over the last several years where sometimes, you know, we might be at an automatic car wash once and my husband couldn't get it turned on. And I got out the car and I just waved my hand over it and I willed it. And that's the most important thing, is to will that. And it would come on. Garage door opener wouldn't work, and I put my hand over that and willed it. Our kid, when he was growing up, our son, some of his games that he would play in the car when we were going on trips would not work. And I just held it, and I felt the energy going into it, and I willed it, and it worked. So we have that within us, and I want to help everybody awaken that. And it's part of our higher self. And your experience, it's an amazing experience. And when you go into a deep, deep visualization, a lot of times you can feel, because you are conscious, you can feel that you're leaving your body and you're traveling, and you may be meeting your guides. And I've done that many times. And tell you the truth, I haven't wanted to come back. I have wanted to stay there, because it's such a wonderful experience. You have a smile on your face because you feel it's wonderful. And many times it took me a lot to come back, because I wanted to stay there.
This was so euphoric that I did not want to even move past it. And until she said, come back into form, I didn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
wonderful.
It was really
awesome. That experience. That's wonderful.
Well, thank you so much. I don't want to take up so much of your time. I really appreciate you both very, very much. God bless you. And from the bottom of my heart, I can't say thank you enough.
Well, God bless you, and much love to you. And you're doing a wonderful job, and I hope to speak to you another time.
Oh, I hope so too. Thank you. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's so interesting and fascinating to see you work. You are so gifted at this, and we're going to bring you back so we can ask more questions. You can help people. Again, we're going to talk about mastery empowerment courses with you. Astral projection would be great, and dreams and all of it. So we'll talk offline about that, but everyone stay tuned, because these are skills that Patience wants to help you learn and work with, and we can learn a lot from you. And there's questions coming in to our Q&A box that we cannot get to. I'm so sorry, there's not enough time in our show today for it. But if you are feeling called, if you would like to ask Patience your questions, there are a couple of different sessions that she's got available. We've got questions coming in, Patience, that are about medical issues that people have, whether or not you can scan them, all the way to helping them with their guides and ancestors and messages. Opening to the flow of abundance, everything, you name it.
Yes.
So share with us the style of sessions that you've got, and then we're going to do that healing session.
Yes, and hopefully that will help people with medical questions or any of these thoughts that they have. Hopefully that will help them to be able to tap into their own energies.
Did we lose you?
No, I'm here now, and I'm ready to, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. So there's 3, you've got a great offer on a session with you. So 2 of these are 50-minute sessions. Tell us about these different options.
Absolutely. Well, the first session that I have is to help people to answer their questions, to bring their past loved ones through. And I know that, as I mentioned before, it's not always the one that you want to come through that comes through first, though they usually do come through. If there's somebody that's possessive or bossy or has a lot of questions and answers and wants to do, they'll come through first. But I will connect the past loved ones, and this is on a one-on-one basis. So it's more focused and it's very clear. And all I ask is before the session if they can think about who they really want to bring through. then it lets them know that there's a door open and that we will bring them through. And many times there's guides that come through as well. If somebody's subconsciously worrying that who are their guides, do I have guides? And a lot of people wonder about that. So is often if they think about that, on who they'd like to come through. Would they like to identify with their guides? So, or past animals. Animals come through, and it's wonderful when they come through. There are sometimes clairvoyant messages too that come through with that. So it's a pretty well-focused session. Now, this other special offer is the clairvoyant session. And those are the types of things that if you're wondering where your life is going, are you on the right path, are you with the right boyfriend, that comes through a lot of times. Is this the right man for me? Is this the right job for me? And I can focus on that. Health issues come through with that as well. If I see something on the health issue, career, love and family, that comes through. And also the path that you were supposed to be on. A lot of times people want to know, am I on the right path? What are my signs? So that's that. And then the third offer is on the medical intuit and energy healing side. And I focus in on your physical energy, any health issues that I see coming through, and I help you. And my whole aim is, what I'm supposed to do this time around is to help you to visualize and bring through the meditation and the healing yourself. And I will often pinpoint something that seems to me might be a problem or in the future. So, and that really is wonderful, because if we can heal ourselves, and that's where we're supposed to do. Really, our mind over matter is the most important thing. And through our spiritual side, we can heal ourselves. And I've done that. And also, if you have somebody that comes through, a family member that I feel has a health issue, I'll show you how to heal them. You don't have to be with them. You can heal them through projection and help them with that issue. I helped my son in South Korea a couple of days ago because he was having some issues. And I told him, I'm going to send you some, he's a healer actually. He's a fourth generation. And he, I helped him heal. So that's how that is. And I'm here to help and answer the questions as best I can.
Thank you so much for that. We just feel the assistance that you offer and the wisdom and the guidance and the mastery in the healing, because you've done it yourself and for yourself. And so when we go into quantum physics and we learn some of the stories of the quantum university, we hear that it's this deep connection to source that is so healing. And you've put that in place in your own life, and you help people to do that in their lives. So your special offer with those sessions are available at acoustichealth.com, on this webpage that you're listening to, or in the description box of whatever platform you're listening to this conversation on. We also have a short link called bit.ly/patience offer. We are speaking with Patience Parker, and she is an extraordinary clairvoyant and medium and medical intuitive. So now, as we close our program, we're just going to leave people in a very comforting space, and this is going to be our closure for this program, because it's a guided visualization. So Patience, why don't you tell us a little bit more about this, and then just lead us into this.
Yes, absolutely. And visualization is really tapping into our spiritual side, our higher self. And through that, we are able to heal. And it's not just a physical healing. It's also mental relaxation healing. It's guided at taking away stress. When I first met my husband, he was a Metro police officer, and he had a lot of very bad nightmares. And after we'd been together, I did the healing process with him and the visualization, and he doesn't have any more nightmares. He got rid of them very quickly, thank goodness. I was frightened of being hit in the middle of the night when he was asleep. So it helps us spiritually and physically. If there's anybody that you feel, a child or a parent or somebody, that needs healing, that has health issues, you can turn that healing over and heal them in that way. So I'm going to get started because I know we don't have a lot of time to do this. And I just want you to, it might be hard for some of you, but just what you need to do is, I don't know if you're sitting in a chair or laying on a bed. It doesn't matter where you are. You just need to relax, and you need to close your eyes and concentrate on your breathing. We're going into a meditative state, but it's not a deep meditative state. You just need to focus solely on your breathing. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, just very slowly feel you're relaxing, your shoulders are relaxing, your eyes are closed, and you're breathing in and you're breathing out, and you can hear your breathing. And as you're breathing in and breathing out, I want you to be aware of a bright white light high above your head. And so when you inhale, you feel like you're inhaling this white energy, and it's from God, and it's love. And you're bringing in this white healing energy, and as you exhale, you're exhaling any disease or uncomfortable energies that you're feeling, exhaling out. And as you inhale, you feel the white energy that's at the top of your head slowly seeping through your head. You're inhaling the white energy through the top of your head, and it's cleansing, it's clearing, and you can visualize it zapping every cell in the top of your head. And you exhale any dark energies, any dis-ease, anything that's uncomfortable. You're exhaling it out of your mouth, and you can visualize it going. And this white light that you're inhaling through is now slowly seeping down your head, past your eyes, and your eyes are feeling energized with this white healing light. It's going past your nose and slowly down your face into your jawbone, and you're exhaling and exhaling any discomforts. And gradually you're feeling more in tune with your muscles relaxing, inhaling the white light, slowly inhaling it through your jaw, through your throat. It's seeping slowly down. You can feel it seeping slowly down your neck into your shoulders, and you're exhaling any discomforts, and you're filling with white healing energy all over your head, your shoulders. It's almost like water running through your body. And you're exhaling, and as you're exhaling it, you feel your shoulders relaxing even more, and any stiffness that you had in the neck is relaxed, and you're exhaling it out from the shoulders. And you're inhaling it again, and as you inhale, it's slowly seeping down to the top of your head, your eyes, your shoulders, into your chest, down your arms, healing every cell that might have discomfort or disease. And it's exhaling it out. And you're going to continue this all the way, inhaling the white healing energies through your chest, down the main part of your body, down your hips, and exhaling it out. If there's a particular area that you have discomfort, or pain, you're going to visualize more of it zapping that area. But this whole white energy, this healing energy of love, is going to zap every part of your body. You're bringing it through from the top of your head, flowing down through your body, through your hips, through your legs, through your knees, and exhale out the dis-ease and the discomfort, and inhale it and feel and see it, visualizing it, clearing every cell and cleansing it and filling it with love and energy. And it's flowing all the way through your body now. It's flowing down your knees and down to your feet, and you're exhaling it and it's flowing out of your feet. Now, if you have a part of your body that has discomfort, such as your kidneys or your knees or your shoulders or your back, a lot of people have a lot of stress that they carry through back pain. Then when you inhale this time, inhale, that's the spot where that pain or discomfort is. And inhale it, visualize that that white energy is coming through that area where there's pain. And it's zapping it. You see that white energy and love zapping and fixing those tissues so they're pure and healthy again, and exhaling that out. And you should be feeling a flow of pure love and energy coursing through your body from the top of your head, coming out through your feet. And just feel that. Some of you might feel that you're on a higher plane, but this is a short, energizing healing. So I hope that you are feeling that energy. And once you can keep the flow going, you're going to be stronger. You're going to be more aware of your surroundings and the spiritual entity that you are. You can bring your higher self through that way. If you have a family member or somebody that you know is having pain, then visualize that white light coming through that area where they're suffering and exhaling it. But it's very important that you exhale it. Make sure when you're visualizing their pain and you're visualizing that white coming through and healing that area, make sure that you release it through a strong exhale, because you don't want to carry that pain. I've had that happen. And just focus with these vibrations that you are a higher being, that you are here to give love out to the world, and it will come back to you. But don't worry if you don't feel it coming back, because to give love out there is the most wonderful thing in the world. And blessings to everybody. I hope to be able to talk to you all at some point in time. And I will be on this show again where I'll be able to answer your questions and in whatever area that you need. So I will depart now because I believe my time is up. So I hope this has helped you all. And my love to all of you and healing. Blessings.
Patience Parker, thank you so much for this beautiful session today. We are feeling the beautiful healing light, feeling very grounded with that, very peaceful. That's a powerful tool. And you offer beautiful sessions for those who are seeking to get those messages from the invisible realm. It is very healing when we do so, and we look forward to having you work with us on some of those really fascinating courses as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Patience, for this quantum conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, wow, if you are in for a treat and a very magical session with Patience, that is available for you on Patience's special offer at acoustichealth.com. Check out the marketplace, special offers, and you'll find that right there. Very affordable for almost an hour with this medical, intuitive, medium, and clairvoyant. So thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for sharing your love with the planet. So now we're going to be easy as we dance our way to the cosmic heart. Thank you for listening to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts, as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe. Music literally created by the universe, as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music, available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.